This is going to be part 2 in our video. Remember, you're not going to be able to shove the joist any farther past the outside wall. And the joist is usually going to have to slide over this way. It's going to have to slide into this wall, over the wall here, so that you can actually set it on top of the other wall. You can actually notch the plate and use this to lower the joist into. And this is actually what I'm going to go over in this video. Notch one side if needed. This is something that's going to require some planning. You might need to notch the other side. However, you might not need to notch it also. If you notch both sides, you can actually slide the joist in usually a little easier. Set it down and then jack it up. But this is only, you want to do the minimal damage you can to the building. And by notching these plates, you're going to have to put a strap. And I can't really give you the size of the strap. I can tell you to put an MST 48. That would be a Simpson product. A strap that's 4 foot long. That's usually what they call out for if you do damage the plates. Because once you cut into the top plate or the bottom plate, you're going to need something to tie the wall back together. In this particular example, I'm not going to cut the plates here. You will basically set the joist on top of the plates if you can get them in. If you can't, then you will need to cut or remove some of the area. But this, again, it's whatever's going to be easier. If you cut into the top plate, then you're probably going to need a strap anyway. And if that's the case, then just go ahead and cut the plate out so that you can set the joist on top, make it easier for you. But if you can actually set the joist on top of a wall like this and then notch out the other side, then and then set the joist into the pocket there, then that will be the first place to start, the most beneficial. Like I said, the least amount of damage to the top plates, the better. But at the same time, you're going to need to make sure that's actually going to fit. If your joists are 11.5 inches and you are working with an area that's 11 3/8, then there's a good chance you're not going to be able to put the joist in, set them on top of the wall. You're going to have to raise it up. But again, that's something different. If you are dealing with truss joists, I don't think they shrink. Conventional lumber will shrink. I've seen 2x12s that are 11.5 inches shrink down to 11 1/8 inches. That would be a problem with conventional lumber, but you're probably not going to have it with truss joists like these. And one last thing here. Don't forget, I'm making it look easy here because you're not looking at the drywall, but the drywall in the other room, if this is an existing home, is going to be even with the top of the plates and the bottom of the ceiling. You're not going to be able to do something like this without notching a section of the drywall out in the other room, which of course would be creating more work for you. So if that was the case, if you did have to notch out over here, then you might want to look at your other option of removing the exterior siding or stucco and then repatching that, whatever is going to be easier. So you would notch the plate out here and then leave this one as it was, set the joist on top, and then once you had the doubler in, lift it up and then make the repairs on the outside. But again, that's something that you're going to have to make your mind up on. It's hard for me to really tell what's going to be easier. These are just ideas. Next up on the list would be to grab some type of a post and a jack so that you can jack the double joist up into place. And this, of course, would take the sag out of the floor. Give you another angle here. Here's the post, maybe a 4x4. And you might need to block the area. You might actually need to cut the blocks in, some blocks in, so that these go straight. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to actually cut your blocks in. You don't have to nail them off, just put them in place. slide them into the base. That way when you're jacking the joist up, they don't go at an angle. They don't twist or deform somehow. After you have jacked the double joists up into position, you can install a block underneath it. Now, I think I mentioned this earlier, but I want to clarify something. If you need more room, if you have a larger bow in the floor, you can always remove both plates. Remove this section here to give you a little more room if you need more room to jack the joists up. And this could be if you have a large sag in the floor. But if that's the case, if you do need to remove a lot of that, then you might have more damage. Might actually have some of the joists damaged on the opposite sides of the new one you're going to install. Keep that in mind also. Let's go around to the other side. You will need to install a strap. I really can't tell you, like I said, maybe an MST48. You will need to strap to get a connection to tie these plates together. Other than that, that is the end of this video. And I'm going to try and make another video, one more way to fix this. And I'm going to try and make another video to provide you with a few tips on a few other things that you might need to consider when making this type of a repair.